Now let's go to how I acquired Spanish, among other things. Now, when I came here, I was like a damn rooster, a cock, walking around proud that I'm an English speaker because it's like I was revered here in Colombia. So I was proud that I'm an English speaker. Next thing I know, I had to go out to buy things on my own. That is where reality started kicking in when I had to do my own shopping. No, I don't eat pork. And I remember one day I bought pork. I mean, I brought it home and my landlord said, I didn't know you eat pork. I said, I don't. She said to me, well, that is pork. I was like, oh no. So she didn't eat pork. She didn't eat pork either. She's from Mexico, by the way. So I had to discard the pork. Then one evening, I was having an headache and I have terrible migraines. So I went out to buy some tablets. I bought the tablet, and like me, tablets don't usually work on me. I saw take one. I there were a few words on it that I understood, but I didn't understand 99% of what was written in the box. So now I took two tablets and went to bed. Next morning I woke up, I took another two, went to work. Now I had four tablets in my system. For some strange reason, I brought the box to work. I brought the pack to work because I decided that with this headache, I'm going to keep taking them until the headache was gone. Little did I know, those tablets were not for headache. I don't know, up to this day, I don't know what those tablets were for, but they should have been taken 16 hours apart, and in less than 8 hours, I took four. What started happening to me at work is that my lungs, my heart started shutting down. I was taking there's well Agostiniano had a clinic this on the school compound. It's the school is that huge, so they had a private clinic there. So from the clinic I was taken to my EPS. Now, Salud Total. Most of you will be registered with Salud Total or Compensar. Two good EPSs. But Compensar is the better one. That is the truth. Now, when I was taking her, the doctor asked me what I took. Well, the doctor spoke English. Thank God she spoke English. And I told her, I gave her the box, and trust me, immediately I was connected to drips. I was flushed. That those things were flushed out of my system. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, that was my decision after being here for 3 months. I decided, no, Roderick, you cannot go on like this. One, you bought pork. You didn't eat it though. Two, you almost killed yourself with medicine. I decided not to say or do anything crass until I until I learned some Spanish. Now my kids, they were a great help. Whenever I was in class, my kids would ask me questions. How are you managing here in Colombia not speaking Spanish? Some of them, their level of English was good, so it made it easier for me. So I was explaining to them some things that were happening, and they said, "No, teacher, you can't." They call you teacher or profesor. I said, "No," or yeah, they call you teacher, professor, or maestro. But most likely you'll find the students calling you profe, professor, or teacher. So, and the informality of this country, they call you by your first name. They do not say Mr. this or Mr. that. They say Profe Roderick or Profe this, Profe that, by Profe first name. And it's just their culture. I mean, you can adapt to their culture. You should adapt to their culture. It's it's just the same like us when we go to Jamaica. When we're in Jamaica, we like people to adapt to our cultures. When the Cuban teachers are in Jamaica, we like them to adapt to our culture. It is the same here. So adapting is better than, you know. I mean, you are going to remain a Jamaican, and you're going to keep your Jamaicanness dear to you because that is what makes you who you are. But for some things, you just adapt. You just look over it. And these people are all there. When I started learning Spanish from my students, they right in every break they would take me up, profe, this is this, this is how you say that, and you say this because this verb is this, and you conjugate it like that, and yeah, that's how I learned from my students. And with all the meetings that these people had and sitting in a staff room with all these Spanish speakers, I was like this. I was silent. I had it hard, to be honest. I had it hard because there was nobody to help me. But now here you have me to help you, right? It's going to be easier for you. So 8 months of learning Spanish. Wow, that is good. That is good. I the only time I studied Spanish was when I was in high school and when I was going to Royal College. And to be honest, I didn't like Spanish. That is the truth. In high school, I saw Spanish. Oh, yo, I'm a Jamaican. I will never use Spanish. What the hell am I doing with Spanish? Doesn't make sense. So out the door that went. When I started Royal College, which I couldn't, I couldn't because I didn't do it. Spanish. I was like, yo, I know we have to do this, but why do we have to do it? I did not like it because back then I wasn't planning on living in a Spanish country. No, I don't want to leave from Spanish countries. I mean, I plan on living in South America, Colombia, Panama, Peru, Ecuador, Paraguay, Uruguay, Bolivia. Eh, these countries are beautiful. I plan on staying here. So I, with that, all of that said, I had some hard times with Spanish, and one day in a meeting, something was said, and I responded in Spanish. And since that moment, everybody has been helping me with Spanish here. Everybody. The moment you start trying, the moment you start trying, you're going to be helped. It's just like us. We're here trying to help these people acquire the English language. And in turn, if we just try, if we behave as though Spanish is not important, then these people are not, as we say in Jamaica, if sick no care, doctor no care. If we do not try it, they will not help you. And that's it. Just try. One little try. And trust me, you will have, depending on the school you're working, some I've taught at schools where I had 6 students in one class. Yeah. In 2017, in March 2017, I decided to work as an independent worker here in Colombia. I wanted to move out of Bogota, and I wanted to explore things on my own. So my contract had ended with personal growth, and I went to Panama, spent a weekend in Panama, then I came back to Colombia. And I came back to Colombia and applied for 3 jobs. All 3 places called me, but I chose the one that was not in Bogota, so I could move out of Bogota. I moved out of Bogota to a place called Chia. It is like 45 minutes away from Bogota, and it is colder than Bogota. And me, I'm a Jamaican, but I love the colder climates. I appreciate a colder climate. It's not that I'm a tropical boy, but I love the colder climates. When I'm hot, no man, I can't manage it. That is the truth. If you hear me now, I am sort of stuffy. Well, not necessarily stuffy, but there's my voice has gone down like 2 tones. It's because of the heat here in Vita Vicencia. But to be honest, I love Vita Vicencia. I don't know why I'm still here. That's the reason I'm still here. Because I love it. I love it here in Vita Vicencia. So I moved to Chia in 2017, and I started working with a school called Colegio Montemorel. Now, with Montemorel, I taught English exclusively, just English, as was Agostiniano Norte. I was teaching English only in grade 11 at Agostiniano ICFES English. That is the final year English. Prepare them for final exams. So I was teaching at Monte Morel in 2017, and I was teaching grade 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. I was teaching 6 groups. But in those 6 groups, in total I had about 51 students because it was a small school. Small schools, I was teaching half of every group in the school, half of all of high school, because there were two classes to each, two two grade 6, two grade 7, two grade 8, two grade 9, and so on to 11. So I taught the more advanced groups, and the Colombian English teacher taught the other group, and it was fun. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. The whole fact that the school was small, or the school is still small, the population, the entire school population from preschool to grade 11 in 2017 was 250. Yeah. So the school is still small, and the community there, the teaching community, everybody was close, people were nice, the, and the food was better. That's the truth, because at the school the chef was from the Caribbean coast of Colombia, so the food it was good. No other bush Colombians love their food. Yo, we're black people. We do not eat unseasoned food. No, we don't like that thing. We don't like that thing. So they do not like, and they do not like food with pepper in it. Just a little bit of spice. They don't like those things. It is their food is hard to eat. That is the truth. But I do my best to cook my own. Well, it's not that I do my best to cook. I cook my own food. It's cheaper, and you're going to find out it's cheaper to cook your own food, even though food here is cheap. As, I think I've been eating too much rice. That's why I'm this big. Too much rice. Rice here is dirt cheap. If you could buy probably 5 pounds of rice here in Colombia for the price you'd pay for a pound of rice in Jamaica. Yeah, it is. Food here is cheap. The cost of living is cheap in Colombia. Cheaper in some places than others, just like the US. Like Bogota is going to be expensive because Bogota is the capital. So everything has to be imported to Bogota. Everything has to be transported to Bogota. So Bogota is more expensive. That's it. But Spanish, in this is about me learning Spanish, me acquiring the Spanish language over these years, and to the point where I've done the Spanish exam, the international Spanish exam from Spain, the DELE exam from Spain, and I have a B1 in Spanish. Now I'm going to do it again next year to upgrade to a B2 in Spanish. With a B2 in Spanish, ooh, I mean, you can attain a B2 because there are some things in Spanish that I cannot say, like the R in Spanish, where they say ere. No, that double R, it's almost impossible. You know, us English speakers, we do not pay attention to it, but these Spanish speakers, they love when you try to do it. They love when you try to do it, and it makes a difference because there are some words that needs the double R and some words that are only the single R, like our R. And if you say this word meaning that word, it's just going to confuse them. It's just like them trying to use some words in English and we do not understand because of how they pronounce it. So when we are, there's a saying, when you're in Rome, do as the Romans do. I'm not going to say do everything that Colombians do. No, I'm not going to say that. But when it comes down to their language, they respect their language as well as they respect English. So what we do is respect their language, and they will teach us their language for free because it's just interaction that causes us to learn, right? Well, that's for me. Interaction has caused me to learn their Spanish. I did not have to pay a dime for them to teach me Spanish until I decided, I'm going to do the Spanish exam. I paid for the course, and I studied for a little while, and ja, eso es.